live.
Hello.
We will let some people join on here. I know you have to make it through a commercial too before you get into the stream. So, welcome, Carrie. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Good to have you here with us. It's been a fun day. So today, two of my friends and we all met together and we did some canning, and that was fun. And the kids, there was 12 kids between us all, and the kids just all played outside. It was a pretty nice day today. It wasn't super warm, but like warm enough they could play outside, and it was nice. Everybody was happy, and the kids were busy, and we got work done, but enjoyed some time together. So
what did you can?
We canned a ton of pizza sauce because I had a bunch of tomatoes in the freezer from the summer, and then we canned some beef stew. So it was good. It was good. Sam has been reading all day, right?
Yep. Doing another test in the morning on, well, I have my first Pharmacology 1 test tomorrow, and then another test for maternal child. But right now we're focusing on the pregnancy part. I think we do 5 weeks of the pregnancy part and then 3 weeks of the child part.
Sounds good. Let's see. Silvermoon's here and Grammy is here.
Hello,
and
hello.
Lois is here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Sam got to go and sit in on a C-section last week.
Yeah, Friday we were in, I got to go to the labor and delivery floor. I got to see a C-section, so that was pretty cool. I got a front row seat, you might say. It was my first time being in an OR. I think it was kind of, I think they pretty much just use it for the C-section. Yeah. So it was kind of pared down. It wasn't very big, but it was neat, really neat to see. I won't bore you with the details of it, but it was really cool.
You said it was a big baby too, right?
Yeah, big baby. They struggled just a little bit getting that baby out. Tammy says she's grading papers for students. So happy I saw the notification.
Yeah,
thanks for being here.
Joining us while you're grading.
So anyway, that was I would say, I guess the highlight of my week is getting to see a C-section in person. It was fun.
Pete is here from
the frigid north.
That's Vermont, right? I think Vermont. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's not too cold yet, but you said it's going to be
Saturday.
15 or something Saturday
the
night?
lows, yeah, like 15 or 18 or something like that. I think it's either Saturday or Sunday night, something like that. It's supposed to get chilly.
We haven't fired up our wood stove for the winter yet, but
I told her the plan is
start
Saturday.
it on Saturday.
I'll probably get it cleaned up and stuff on Thursday, maybe. And then that way Saturday we can just fire it up and
get it going. So let's see, we got a bunch here. Prep Fraternity, welcome. Elaine is here from Canada, and Pete says it was 70 yesterday. It's going down to 24 tomorrow night. We're buffering.
Yeah, our laptop's buffering a little bit.
So hopefully everyone else is okay.
Let us know if we're skipping around or anything.
Yeah, it was nice-ish today. It was in the 60s, but you can definitely tell, like, the way the wind's blowing, like, it's coming. Like, it's going to get pretty cold here pretty soon. So.
Silver Moon's here, and True Joy.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
So anyway, speaking of the cold wind coming, we wanted to talk tonight maybe about some of our winter plans. So I think with the animals, I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but our sheep are looking very good. And
the one in particular.
We have one in particular. He's quite a stud. I think he's going to make some good meat for us.
He's going to be a good size. The other one we got was
He's a runt.
He was a runt from the beginning. So he's definitely smaller for sure. But it's a good first venture. It's not like we had to throw a whole bunch of money at him. They've been fairly healthy.
Yeah,
and easy
really.
to take care of.
They're a little, I mean, just like people say, they're a little bit
dense,
stupid.
Yeah.
Like, they just kind of get themselves into some weird situations.
But I feel like they're stupid, but like, I don't know. They don't do anything on purpose to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the goats, I guess it's not, that would be stupidity. The goats put themselves in situations on purpose because they're too smart.
They're
sheep
manipulative. Goats are manipulative.
I guess, I don't know. They're too smart for their own good. The sheep, like, the rest of them will get out to pasture, and we'll have one sheep stuck up near the barn.
He can't figure out which gate they went through to get to him.
He just cannot figure it out, and you gotta like.
Is it gate number 1 or is it gate number 2? And then he just stands up there and yells
and screams. Yeah, you gotta. You almost gotta take him down there to find everybody because he just can't figure it out.
But he's looking great, and so middle of December, the 2 sheep and 1 goat are gonna go to the butcher. We're trying. Our biggest goal is to keep our feed costs, to lower our feed costs for winter. Feed's still pretty expensive, though. I will say, chicken feed has dropped almost $5 a bag last time I went to the store, which is really nice. But
that is good.
But it costs a lot of money to feed animals over winter when you aren't able to cut your own hay, and we don't have the ability to cut our own hay. So we're gonna kind of thin out the herd. It's more efficient for us to shrink in numbers in winter and then repurchase in spring for some animals, especially for chickens. I feel like than it is to feed them all winter, especially with feed costs being high.
It just kind of depends what your goals are for some things. Because I mean, you know, if you think about just getting your chicks every spring, it's 5 months before you get anything out of them. A lot of times, if they're egg layers.
It's true.
Let's see, we missed some. Whoops, we missed some stuff from. Prep for Eternity said it was 84 there today, and Carrie said they're going to be in the 20s all week. It's rainy and cold in California.
Okay.
Tammy says she had a C-section with her twins 18 years ago. The doctor asked the students could observe. I had about 20 extra people. The operating room, along with all the usual people.
Twins is, you know, anytime somebody get an opportunity to watch twins, because it's less common, they probably all want in the room.
I felt like just me being in there, I was in the way. I don't know that 20 people would have fit in that operating room. I guess so. I will say one of the cool things about the labor and delivery floor, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's that way for most places, but the doctors are there on the floor with you, which is kind of nice. If you've got a question, or if someone...
They don't disappear.
Yeah, if someone needs meds, or if you have an issue, I mean, they're there quick, and you can get an answer or help with whatever's going on pretty quick. So that was kind of nice, because it's not that way on a lot of floors. Sometimes you got to make a phone call and then wait and wait and wait to get an answer. So Debbie's here, and Homestead Nana from Massachusetts. That's why the Bible calls us sheep. We always seem to get in trouble and don't always learn from our
mistakes. It's
probably very true. Let's see. Tracy is here.
Welcome.
Let's scroll down a little bit.
Let's see. Tammy says we're getting snow in a couple hours north Lake Tahoe. It's raining here, and we are super grateful.
Oh, wow.
We're not quite ready for snow, but I'm sure it's coming.
I did hear the weatherman say, though, we had a rainstorm. Was that Sunday?
Mm-hmm. He said it might snow?
He said if it had been pushed down north, that system, we would have got snow. But it stayed up above Kansas City.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Tracy's here. Maybe we already said hi to Tracy.
Yeah, Beth is here. Welcome. Diane says it's 75 there in New York. Enjoy the warm weather while it lasts. And let's see, Cindy from Mississippi, welcome. And Christy, everybody's doing really well. We've had some really good days here. Tammy says, large delivery room. I bet, with all those people in there.
So we're right now when we do the clinicals, we aren't there for a whole 12-hour shift. That'll come starting in January. We'll start doing that and be in there. It'll be a little more hardcore, but so I was mostly there just for this one C-section and then helping afterwards. And so since they were just kind of waiting for the doctors to get there and to do the operation, she was in a tiny little room, so I didn't really get to see any of the nice. I know on that floor they have some really nice delivery rooms, but I didn't get to see them because I was just tagging along with my one nurse. I do like that about that was kind of nice about the labor and delivery floor. The nurses usually get 1 or 2 patients, which can turn into 2 or 4.
Yeah.
After the delivery, and then with that C-section patient, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't even know if she was on our floor like 45 minutes before they moved her to the postpartum floor. Like it it seemed like a really fast turnaround. So they,
Make room for the next one. Huh?
yep, they get them going.
Let's see, Pete says...
ZC is here.
Welcome. And Pete says, we might see snow around Thanksgiving. Hope to get the meat birds processed
Yeah.
before. Yeah, be out there in your
Ooh.
big puffy Michelin man suit trying to process birds. So I think this spring, I didn't tell you this.
Oh.
Okay. I think we're going to raise some meat birds. And I've been talking around with some of my friends and some of your family that has experience. And I think we're going to try to raise a bunch of meat birds here. And then have people come and help on processing day, and then they get to take some birds home. Because I really want to do it ourselves, but we can't do it ourselves.
Who you've been
'cause you're too
talking to
busy.
with experience?
You know, people.
Yeah, the only one with experience is
Is
my
your
dad.
yeah.
I mean, I guess Paul did come out. Poopsie, my brother, he came out and helped.
I think we can do it. I mean, you
we only
gotta
did a
jump in there
handful.
sometime, right? Right?
Sure. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, Silver Moon says, I have problems with the heat, so I'm looking forward to winter. And Kelly says, hello from warm Alabama. And then Tracy says, unrelated, but I wanted to tell you my indoor container garden is sprouting. I'm so pleased. My tyrant landlord won't allow me to grow outside. By the way, I had both my kids by
Awesome.
C-section.
I'm glad your garden's doing well.
That's
great.
awesome.
And
Especially with
you can
winter
grow
coming.
an incredible number of plants in pots. You just have to be smart, in which you've probably done, about researching your varieties. I mean, there's tomatoes and peppers and all sorts of things that do really well in pots. So good way to make the best use of the situation that you have and still get out there and grow some stuff. So or get in there and grow some stuff.
Pete says we do it with another family. It is the only way to handle it and still be smiling and married
by
at the end of the day.
You know, it's a messy job and it's a big job, and I think it's one of those things where more hands make light work, and also
That's
more
true.
people that bring children means more people to keep our children busy.
That's
So
true.
I mean, we got so much done today because the kids didn't need anything because there were so many other kids there
to play with.
they
all had a
with.
friend.
I mean, they built a fort outside. They put booby traps around the fort so the adults couldn't get there. I mean, they were busy all day while we were canning. The only thing that was needed from mommy every once in a while is one of the little kids wanted to go to the bathroom and they need help, you know. But it was nice. Everybody was happy and busy and outside. That's how it should be.
when we did when we butchered chickens growing up, a lot of times would do it with the family. Or actually, like there were a few times where we'd butcher like 100 or 200 chickens, and we'd have a number of families, a lot of hands to help with that. So,
Oregon Tales here. Oh, we always argue about this. Oregon.
is it Oregon or Oregon?
It was Oregon whenever I grew up. Never catch the live, but always listen to it later. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Let's see. We were talking about winter, so we talked about the sheep are going to the butcher. We have a goat going to the butcher, so that'll leave us with 3 goats.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh, some of our chickens we're giving to a friend just to help shrink the herd. Not the herd. What do you call a group of chickens?
A flock.
A flock. Thank you. Shrink the flock a bit, just so there's fewer to feed. I also want to try I want to get some different breeds next year. I think I want to do some Easter eggers. I miss having the colored eggs and stuff. So we'll get rid of some of our brown egglet. We just give them to somebody else who would like to start their flock, and then we'll start again in the spring with some different breeds.
Prep for Eternity has a good question for you.
What is prep? Do y'all have a plucker? We processed 35 first. Not a good idea, but we did get it done, and it was all good. No, I don't have a plucker, but I have been looking places where you can rent them, or you skinned them when you did it. That's what we did last time too. Just skinned the chicken. You said it kind of comes off like a soup.
Sometimes, yeah.
So I was looking into maybe renting one to use. It just depends. I mean, spring's a long time from now, but it's something we've always said we want to do it, and we've never done it. And I was like, you know what? We're just gonna do it.
We have done it, but we didn't do a lot.
No.
It's usually been like 5 or 10 at the most.
Well, we've only ever done 4 here. You maybe did more with your dad, but
yeah.
But we just did like 3 or 4 here. We had some roosters that we wanted to get rid of. But I just want to try it. And if it's a disaster, then at least we can say we tried it, right?
Very true. Tracy says, hope you videoed the canning. Love when you did the big one before.
Oh, that was fun. I did not video this one because I didn't want to be videoing other people's children. I mean, I'm sure if I asked, maybe they would have been okay with it. But it's different when it's family and when it's friends. I didn't want to... you don't want to butt your vlog into other people's lives. But we do have.
Pete says it's Oregon. Or how do you say it?
Oregon. I say Oregon.
Oregon.
Like a pentagon. Oregon.
Now
it sounds wrong. However you say it. I said it too many times.
Let's see. Gabe and Kelly Black are in Cole County.
Hello. That's not too far from here.
Pete says they got copper morans this year. Very cool egg color. Those are the dark, like, chocolate colors, right,
Did
Pete?
we have some of those one year?
No, we had... what do we have? We had morans, but they weren't copper morans. They were... What were they? Oh, no, I can't remember. They were black and white colored. Now I'm embarrassed that I can't remember what breed they were.
It says dark metallic orange color, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I know the specialty breeds are more expensive, but there's something about like looking at your eggs on your counter and it's like a rainbow of colors. It's just fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Prep Fraternity says
Oregon.
I definitely think you can do it. Just plan well. We kind of just jumped in. When it comes to butchering anything, if you have a good plan and if you have at least a couple people that have done it before, that helps a lot, I feel like. Let's see. The Oregon Tail says, we always just slur it together like Oregon. Okay. The Missouri boy got it right?
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, they live in Oregon. They can't be wrong.
You know, people on YouTube, they can make whatever handle they want. So, which ones lay the blue or green eggs? Those are the Easter eggers.
There's a bunch of different breeds that lay colored eggs. There's some really expensive chickens out there, but if you just want some cheap chickens that lay colored eggs, it's the Easter eggers. They're really, really cheap as chicks. Even as adults, you can get them pretty cheap, and they'll lay some colored eggs for you.
So that's pretty much all that's going on for winter. We did not plant the greenhouse this spring. There's just way too much going on with all of Annie's appointments. But that is really starting to scale down.
This fall, you mean?
Yeah, this fall. Sorry. See? Can't even remember what season it is. It's really starting to scale back, and by January, we probably will only have to go to therapy one time a week, and so that'll be great. And so I think we'll be planting an early spring greenhouse in January, which will be nice. But there just wasn't time to do it. I just didn't have time. The greenhouse needs to be repaired, and I just didn't have time. It's a whole day project. So.
I feel like with, at least for us right now, with our family and all we've got going on, with your homestead in general, it will be kind of seasonal. You'll have years where you can do everything.
Yeah.
You can add twice as many projects as the year before and do a lot, and you'll have seasons where you just got to cut back a little bit. And I think overall it's best not to bite off more than you can chew with your homestead, because then you'll just end up doing things poorly.
Well, and you'll burn yourself out. Because we've done that. You just have too much going on, and you just feel overwhelmed every single day. And then you don't love it anymore. And this is such a hard work lifestyle. If you don't love it, it's just miserable. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, because you can't be like, I'm just going to take a break this week, because it doesn't work that way. Like, stuff needs done every day, so.
Yep. ZC says, Sam is right. My hubby lived in Oregon for a year. Let's see. Gabe and Kelly Black said, can't wait to see what color eggs our Welsummer Easter egg or crosses lay. We hatch them in June, so anytime they should start laying. That'll be fun. That's cool. I've always thought it would be cool to try and do some crosses and stuff and see, if you could make a
crossbreed,
darker color egg or a lighter color egg or whatever. So that's cool. I like that. Let's see. The Oregon Tail says, my husband Robert has lived in Oregon his whole life, and he's 38, and I've been here 30 years.
All right.
Let's see. Pete says their Americana chickens lay a blue egg.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all kinds of. It's been a while since I've looked at the chicken breeds, but there's a bunch of breeds that'll lay blue eggs and a bunch of breeds that'll lay the green eggs, and you'll have some that lay kind of a pink and a dark chocolate. The one year we had, I think it was 4 different breeds of chickens. I really enjoyed that because our egg basket was really multicolored.
It's just fun to look. It just makes it fun. Like there's no reason all eggs are the same inside basically, but it's just fun.
We had
and it's fun for the kids.
We had white egg layers, we had brown egg layers, we had a dark chocolate egg layer, and then the kind of greenish bluish egg layer. So we had those 3 or 4 colors in our egg basket every morning. That was kind of fun. I think the kids like it too, and people in general. Like we sold a few dozen eggs and gave a lot away, and I think people like that because it's kind of unique. Let's see. I used to have. No, I missed someone.
If you burn yourself out, it's not fun anymore. People often end up quitting altogether.
Yes, very true. Tracy says, I used to have chickens, but had to pass them to a sanctuary when I had to move. I missed my girls. Love them so much. Yeah, that's a bummer. Let's see. Prepped for Eternity says, so true. We had such an amazing summer garden that after all the canning and processing food, we decided not to have a fall garden this year. Just too tired.
Yeah.
Yep, you have to know when to take a break.
Yes, exactly. And Silverman says, Gabe and Kelly, they will probably lay darker green eggs. Blue eggs are usually blue color over white egg. Okay, there's a little chicken genetic lesson there for you. It's always interesting, too, how the genetics work.
Which one's going to be...
It's a great homeschool lesson for the girls.
It could
we'll
be,
have them
honestly.
Create a crossbreed and chart the colors or something.
To buy, like, 4 or 5 different hens with one rooster and see, like, which dominant trait,
right.
Or whatever. I am, honestly, in all of my nursing stuff, when it came to the genetics, which we don't talk about that much, I'm terrible at genetics. I don't know why, because it seems so simple.
You do your little, it's called like a Mendel square.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm terrible at it.
So.
Let's see. That's what we are guessing, more like olive acres. Yes, olive acres.
Tinker's wife, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about our winter plans, which I think we got wrapped up.
So the plan is to kind of trim down the farm a little bit.
We want to just lower our feed expenses and lower the work. We're going to get through this last few months of the intense amount of therapy that Annie has. And then once we hit a year after her surgery, it backs way down. And she has qualified for some services through the school. So she'll go to school like a half day a week. The bus even comes and gets her. And she'll get physical therapy and occupational therapy at school without me having to drive her anywhere, which will be really good for the other kids. So
it's going to be like a huge lifestyle change compared to a year ago once we get to that point, because you'll go from 5 days a week driving all the way to therapy, which is like 45 minutes away, to 1 day.
1 day. Save us so much money.
So that'll be awesome.
Silverman says biology was always a favorite subject in school. It's fascinating.
I always thought it was intriguing. I just was never very good at
it. Terry pressed thumbs up. Thank you, Terry. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. It helps us a bit in the algorithm so more people can find us. And yes, Pete, we got 18 happy thumbs up, so thank you very much. Okay, so the other one is we're in the middle of No Waste November, which has been kind of fun, I say. So so there's 8 of us.
First week.
This is our first week. So the weeks for us, we put the trash out Tuesday afternoon because it gets picked up Wednesday morning. So basically, Tuesday to Tuesday is what we're considering a week. And our goal this week was just to create one 13-gallon bag of waste. And I have not taken that bag out yet. I'm going to say it's pretty full, but there's not really any room. But tomorrow morning shouldn't create any waste because we're having just like banana muffins and stuff I've already made. So... And so I think we made it.
Take the can down to the road.
We do have 4 or 5 disposable diapers in a trash bag in the bathroom. So technically we created one 13-gallon bag and like half of a Walmart bag of trash that'll go out. But considering that when we started, we were putting out 4 to 5 13-gallon bags and several Walmart bags a week. That's quite a reduction.
Yeah, really good. Let's see. Tinker's wife says, I like biology in high school, but not sure I could do human biology, like cadaver work. See, I was terrible in all sciences in high school, but now that I'm going back to school, I did better in them than I thought I would.
Well, this is funny, too, because when he first started talking about, I think I'm supposed to go to nursing school, I was like, are you sure? Because science, when we were in college, you took science, you didn't like it. And, I mean, you passed it, but it wasn't like...
I
epic.
liked it. I was just terrible at it. I always thought it was interesting.
But it's amazing what some motivation will do, huh?
Yeah.
And some life experience.
Let's see. Willow Creek is here, popping in to say hello.
Welcome.
They need banana muffins. They're gonna come over in the morning. Thanks for popping on. Do you still use your burn barrel? We do.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that doesn't count as waste, but I am very, like, I'm not going to cheat and throw plastic in the burn barrel. Like, the burn barrel is just cardboard that can't be composted. So first step, like, we try to focus on things that are compostable. So, like, plain paper, cardboard that's not printed on, and things, food scraps, those all go in the compost pile. And then if it's a cardboard that's can't really be composted, like a cereal box, but I can burn that, that goes in the burn barrel. So I've emptied the burn barrel once this week. So we're not producing, and our burn bucket is another 13-gallon trash can in the kitchen. So I've emptied that once this week. So we're not creating an epic amount. I'm not moving stuff from the trash can to the burn barrel, if that answers your question there. So it's not an epic amount of waste. So I feel like we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
The hardest thing, though, is just food packaging, because everything is wrapped in plastic. And a lot of the changes I've made is, like, instead of buying salad in the plastic container bowl, with the lid, you know what I'm talking about, I buy it in the bags, because the bags take up a lot less real estate. And milk, sometimes I have to get it in plastic cartons, but some stores I can get it in cardboard cartons, which I can then burn. It just depends where I'm shopping, because those gallon jugs take up a lot of space too, even when you collapse them.
Tracy says, I live by myself and take out 1 bag of trash a day. Good on ya. Silvermoon says, I've always been fascinated by how the human body works, and gross stuff doesn't bother me. I could watch surgery and eat spaghetti
At the same time.
I will say, I think my first class, because I had to take prereqs before getting into nursing school, I opened up, I think my first class was anatomy and physiology. And I opened up the first module, and the school, even though you pay for the module, if you pay for the whole class, if you only do one module, they would give you your money back if you wanted it. I opened up that first module, read the first chapter or two, and I immediately came back out into the living room and told Laura, I was like, I can't do this. I was like, maybe we should just get our money back. It was that bad, but we made it through. Let's see. Tinker's wife said that's a fantastic job of reducing waste. Chris says, how did your family get rid of the bugs? What worked?
We actually didn't end up doing anything, because a couple days after I made that video, we had a couple storms in a row, and then we had a really cold night. And without the sunny, hot weather, or the sun beating on our house, which is why they were coming in, because they like the warm surface, they didn't keep coming in. And the ones that were inside, they die off after 24 hours. So you just sweep.
Cold enough.
And it got cold enough that the ones outside died off. So the problem disappeared. But I have saved a lot of suggestions that you all had. And so next fall, when it's a problem again, we're going to give some of that stuff a try.
Let's see. Prep for Eternity says, we're trying to do the no waste as well. Our biggest thing is milk, juice, and vinegar jugs. Yeah, those are all big.
The milk.
They take so much room in the trash can.
The milk and some of the juice we can get in cardboard containers, which then we can burn, and that's helped a bit. Vinegar I've never seen in anything but a plastic jug. So.
Tammy says, I'm starting pomegranate juice this weekend, and then will be lemons juice in the freezer.
Awesome.
Hello, Adrian.
Welcome. Adrian was one of the people we just canned with today, so thank you for spending your day canning with me. So, let's see. Pete says, living in the country, the compost pile, burn barrel really make a difference. It does. And even if you don't live in the country, they have compost things you can even use inside. I mean, it's going to cost money because it's a container, but it superheats your compost, so it makes compost really fast. But if you have a little extra money and you're willing to spend on something like that, you can actually live in a city and still create compost that you can then use in your potted plants and stuff and help keep waste. In a lot of cities outside of America, because we're not super good at renewable resources, but a lot of cities outside of America have municipal composting where you get a compost bucket and you put your waste out and then they pick it up, and then they have municipal compost that you can get for free in the spring. It's pretty neat.
That's a cool concept. Terry says, can't remember, but do you have plastic recycling in the greater area?
We do not. We don't have plastic or metal recycling. I could collect cans probably and take them to the scrap yard, but by the time I drove them
We don't have a lot of
60
cans
miles
right now
to the grass,
either.
you know, I would just use that money in gas. But no. So I just try not to buy plastic, and we don't buy a lot of cans because we can a lot of our own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Silvermoon says, I think I've seen some vinegar products in glass jars.
Okay.
And Gabe and Kelly say, our house is 126 years old and we're having the same problem with the bugs.
Yes.
So thankful for the weather change.
Yes.
Yeah,
they were
terrible.
really bad. I know you said you're in Cole County, so that's not too far. They were really bad this year. Like, it's bad every year, but this year, like, I walked in the hallway and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I swear you couldn't see the paint on the walls. There were so many bugs. It was horrible. So.
Let's see. Terry says vinegar used to always come in glass. I feel like I've seen it in glass too, at times. Beth says we haven't gotten down to one bag yet, but I'm working on reducing the amount of trash. It helps that we have a plastic metal recycling here locally.
That does help a lot.
Yeah, I wish we had that.
And it really is. It's a one step at a time journey. We could have been producing a lot less waste this year than we were. If we were using the systems we already had set up, and we weren't. I wasn't really like, right now I'm on the kids. I'm like, you do not put food in the trash can. I have a bucket for the chickens. You have leftover food, it goes in the bucket, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just really been on them about making sure paper doesn't go in the trash can. It goes, in the burn barrel in the compost bucket, and making sure they're using the systems. Where before they would just kind of throw everything in the trash can.
Wherever.
Easier. And so we were producing a lot of waste, but a lot of it wasn't really waste, because we haven't made a lot of big changes. We have over a long period of time, but I'd say this month we haven't made a lot of drastic changes.
Tinker's wife says those indoor composters many times just grind up the material and lack the benefits of BioLife. I researched it for my apartment. No bueno. Worm composting is more viable for
awesome.
me.
And that's not a subject I know a lot on, so thank you very much. But if you are in a city and interested in composting, there are options for you, even if you're not allowed to have an outside compost barrel.
Pete said that the ladybugs were crazy at their place too. So it was everywhere.
Dr. Brax comes in glass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I noticed too, if you can shop at a larger store, not necessarily like a Walmart, but I'm trying to think, like a Trader Joe's or a BJ's or like a really large grocery type store, they tend to have more sustainable options. Like, they'll have your cheap plastic stuff, but a lot of times they'll have a little bit more expensive option that is in glass or that's in a compostable container. And so there are more options. Sometimes our local market is tiny, and if we're needing something where we can't wait a week until we go to town,
items.
like, it's going to come in a plastic container, and that's just how it is.
Let's see. Terry says, a lot of folks vacuum up lady and other bugs. You got that suggestion a lot.
Yeah,
just vacuum
we
them
actually
up.
have done that in the past. I actually don't have a vacuum because we don't have any rugs, so I don't have a vacuum anymore. But when we did vacuum, the one thing I did learn is after you vacuum, you have to stop your vacuum hose up with a towel because those ladybugs will crawl right back out the vacuum hose.
Tinker's wife says, I toss veggie matter into the forest off my balcony.
Yeah.
Feed the wildlife and the forest win-win.
Yep.
JMB says it's a season of gratitude and taking care of our environment is a way to show our thanks. Let's see. Susanna says pre-made spaghetti sauce comes in glass. I get some from Trader Joe's and Walmart.
Awesome. And just so you know, those glass containers that you can get that have jelly or spaghetti sauce or whatever from the store in them, those are reusable for water bath canning. Some people pressure can in them. The reason it's not recommended is not all those containers are of standard mason jar quality and thickness, and your pressure canner might be too much for them and they could explode. But they are safe to reuse for water bath canning. So save
we use
those
them for drinking glasses.
we use them for drinking glasses too. But
or...
save those jars if you're a canner and use them for your water bath canning. That way, your more expensive mason jars you can reserve for your pressure canning. So just so if you didn't know that, and the lids are reusable. Like, you can use the lids that they come with several times until the rubber starts to wear out.
You also use them a lot for packing lunches and things like that too.
Yep.
A lot of times. Let's see. Susanna said, oh no, I read that one.
Tinker's by forest next to your apartment. Great. Yep.
Yeah,
And
that
your
is kinda
landlord
cool.
may say composting isn't allowed, but if you're going to toss it in the forest, nobody's going to know anyway. So it's all good. Let's see. What else is on there for the good of the order? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
So I think my goal next week is not to have the extra Walmart bag of trash. So we're going to get strictly a 13-gallon trash bag. So we were pretty close. We just had a few diapers and stuff which aren't going to fit in this trash bag. So we just need to reduce it just a little bit.
Silver Moon says, I didn't know about the water bath canning thing. We'll be saving everything now. Gabe and Kelly said, moving to the country and being able to burn whenever has helped with the waste. Jeff City has strict burn rules. We just took a bag of marshmallows outside with us when we burnt out of season.
Nothing suspicious going on here, officer. That's funny.
You want us some more?
Yeah.
That is funny.
Wouldn't be roasted marshmallows over my trash though. They taste a little funny.
You just take.
Yeah, I know.
I
know. It's just
you
for
take
looks.
those so you've got an excuse,
alibi.
an excuse in your back pocket, literally. So that's it with No Waste November.
That's it for now.
That's what you're gonna try and do next week.
Trying to think.
Did pretty good this week.
We really don't. I mean, we've over the years have worked so hard, just like making our own cleaning supplies. We don't use this, paper towels. We even like reduce the amount of toilet paper we use. We make a lot of our own, like we cook from scratch and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those things like the cleaning products, containers, or the plastic that your paper towels come in, or even your paper towels, like we already aren't producing that waste. And that's something that like, it's a hard change to make if you're like, tomorrow I'm gonna not do that anymore. But once you go step by step and replace those things once at a time,
make one change.
It really does. It does accumulate to be a big difference.
We've talked about that a lot. It's hard to just be like, we're going off grid or whatever. It's easier to kind of dip your toe in the water on different things and be like, well, I can definitely do these 2 or 3 things. I do not want to do that. We've tried it and I don't like it. Prep for Eternity. Welcome back. Terry says, I have burned paper in a barbecue. Okay. I like it.
Love your Clorox wipes video. Thank you. And those are working out really well with the little kids. They could take one and wipe down the table and nobody gets sprayed in the face. So
Debbie says, my ex and I used to burn everything we could burn when we were in Washington State. Trash was outrageously expensive. It's not too bad here.
Well, they just sent a letter saying that prices will be increasing, but they won't tell us by how much until the next year. So once you've already signed on for the next year, you'll get a bill for that increase. So I'm kind of like, well, how close can we get? Because we could get down to like a Walmart bag a week. We could just like throw it away at the gas station.
Yeah, we have a friend
that
does that.
We won't have to pay for trash service.
Yeah, we have a friend that does that. She's gotten it down to a Walmart bag a week, and she just throws it away when she fills
gas.
up. Yeah. Throws it away at the gas station. Pete says, back before plastic and indoor plumbing, most garbage went right into the outhouse.
That makes sense. It does make sense. Somebody was telling us was it last live stream that like they just throw cans down the and then eventually you're gonna bury it all up. It's like a mini landfill. So that's we'll see. Sam wants you want an outhouse, so maybe we just make it happen.
I don't know. Do you think we could get down to a Walmart bag? That seems pretty ambitious.
It's a
with
food
8 people.
The food packaging is what's hard. So I don't know. That is pretty ambitious. Well, let me say it this way: if we could never buy milk in plastic jugs, so if we had our own milk
that's
cow,
probably the biggest.
I think we could, because with 6 little kids, we drink a lot of milk, and I use a lot of milk for cooking, and so I would say 25% of that trash can right now is plastic jugs.
Probably, yeah.
So I think we could when we get a cow.
Elaine says, hit that thumbs up,
yes,
folks.
Thank you. I think my phone is telling me I only have 10% or something like that left, so I think we might have to wrap it up here because I don't have enough battery to make it the whole hour. That was my fault. I forgot to charge it. So, Pete says the food packaging is a real problem that we need to deal with in this country. Single-use plastic is not great use of non-renewable. And I agree 100%. And I know America is so wonderful for so many reasons, but I feel like when we say something like, let's look at what our European counterparts are doing in this issue, like, oh, but we don't like to take suggestions from other people, but we should. Like, they're much better at sustainable packaging, or much better at recycling. Like, I think we could learn a lot of lessons just from how they do
I will
things.
say we went to Germany when we were in college for a couple weeks, and the first thing off the bat, it was very, very clean in Germany. Just about anywhere you went, they didn't have a lot of litter and trash, and every house had maybe 4 or 5 different cans to be able to recycle.
Yeah, everything was separated.
I don't know about packaging. I don't remember, as a 22-year-old, I didn't pay attention to packaging and stuff back then. But let's see, Gabe and Kelly says we've been saving our milk jugs for the winter milk jug sewing. Terry says most places in Washington have to transport their landfill waste by rail car to Oregon, and that's why garbage is expensive. On the other hand, there are a
lot more recycling opportunities.
Yeah, got it.
And then Prep Producer said, what about powdered milk? So I do have quite a bit of powdered milk in the pantry, and I use it for cooking. But I don't, the kids won't drink, like if I make powdered milk, you have some stories about that from your childhood, don't you? If I make powdered milk and just put it in the fridge, and try to give it to them for breakfast the next day, they're not going to drink it. It tastes too weird compared to fresh milk.
I will say, if powdered milk, if you can get it super cold, like put ice cubes in it, it's not that bad. If it's like room temperature, I don't like powdered milk that way. Let's see. ZC says, thanks for the live. Have a good week. Tinker's wife says we used to have a place to recycle different types of plastic film, but can't do anymore. Yeah.
So plastic, I think, is one of those things I think we've learned just over history that it's not as recyclable as we thought it was going to be. And I think it's okay to start looking for other options, or even just us as individual consumers try to take advantage of other options so that manufacturers see people care about this stuff, because they're going to make what makes them money. And so if we're able to try to be choosier on our packaging
It'll make
and spend our money, that it collectively can make a difference. So all right, we really do have to go though, because my phone is not going to make it much longer.
I'll shut off before we say goodbye.
Thank you very much for watching, you guys. We will should probably be live next week. I think that will be, but as always, we try to put an announcement up Sunday so you all know. So
Take
we
care.
will see you
Have a
all
good
next
week.
time.
Thanks for joining us.